and action on rehearsal.
I still have a picture when Emilio's in the middle of all these younger, even younger kids, and I think he's like, he's the pirate captain in Treasure Island. And my son is Jim Hawkins looking up, and Emilio is just intense as this, the Treasure Island captain. And he had something really rare, and that is that he commits. It was about when he was 10 or 11 that he came and found me, and he wanted help constructing a rig with a thing that would hold the camera so he could make zoom shots and hold it still. And I remember we spent the day up in the shop at First City Players, just cutting down the PVC pipe and gluing it, and he had it all planned out. So, I mean, he knew what we were doing. He just wasn't sure how to use the tools to make it happen. And that was his first, like, camera rig. And he's been making films ever since.
I met him probably when he was like 12, 11. And we did Cinderella. He was one of the townspeople. And he was just always there, present, which is very weird for a kid to be present. And so and then he never left, basically. First City Players seemed like it was just a part of who he was and performing, and he always wanted to be a storyteller. And there's this sense of just like honesty, that's just who he is. And it was very clear at a very young age, and seeing him, like, I don't remember a time when he wasn't talking about making movies or like wanting to communicate with people in an artistic way. And that's very much what Ketchikan kind of offers for kids like that. It's for me as well. I was 19 when I moved back, and I got immediately involved in First City Players, and it gave such a safe space to play and explore, and everybody was there doing it at the same time. It's such a beautiful thing, and it sticks with you, as evidenced by this entire project. He wanted to pull together everybody from his community and tell a story about his community, and everybody's once again working together.
I started out acting at First City Players when I was 9. I got my first chance to direct through First City Players, which I'm sure I would not have gotten my job teaching acting at the university level if I didn't have any directing experience. And my first directing job was First City Players, and I directed this play called Distracted, and my wife, Shelley Virginia, was in it, Elizabeth Nelson was in it, and our foul-mouthed young son was Emilio Torres in that play. So I got to direct Emilio. I don't know if that was his first show, but it must have been one of the early ones. I think there's a direct line from the arts scene in Ketchikan, and specifically First City Players. It's instrumental in the lives of other people who've gone that professional route, from Tally Medell and Rudy Ponco and Emilio, all worked with First City Players and have, the arts are fostered in a way in Ketchikan that you're encouraged to pursue that in a way that I don't know if it's like that in other places.
Elizabeth Nelson is a huge driving force for arts in this town, like just creating opportunity for people to try stuff. There's never a no, there's a let's figure it out. And that very much is, I think, what is presented for most of the arts in this town. People find where their passions are, and that's because they're allowed to play.
All right, let's do something, y'all.
All right, settle in, please. Let's get sound up. Speeding. Sound, speed, camera.
Scene 47 Alpha, take one, marker.
Action.
Wow, that boardwalk was something else. You're pretty lucky to have had a childhood here.
Ketchikan is the best place to raise a family.
This is definitely the first feature film I've been on. I have very little film experience. Most of my experience is on stage. So this has been great. It's a very, very, very different thing than what I'm used to. And that transition has been, it's been a great learning process, and it's a great way to do it on this particular set because it's a lot of young professionals who are fresh out of graduate school. So they're all working professionals and really good at what they do. My training is for the theater, and so my technique is based on the theater. This is a learning process, and so they've been great to, for someone who's green like me to help me in that process. And I can see today when we're shooting the close-up, you know, I can see the DP, Toby, he's moving the camera with helping me adjust my eye line as I'm screwing it up and looking away and then looking back. And I can tell you, like, no, it's not quite right, because he'll adjust with me. And I saw him doing it as we're working. So they're really good at their, it's a great way to start because they're very helpful and supportive of the process.
All right, let's do this thing.
All right, settle everybody. Let's get sound up.
Speeding.
Camera.
Toby, can you press record? Rolling.
Call it.
Scene 47 Beta, take one, marker.
Set. And action.
Hey, I wanted to let you two know that I've been thinking of visiting you in New York sometime soon.
What?
I love that, Arthur.
Does your doctor think that's a good idea?
There are a lot of examples of Ketchikan coming together to support this movie and this effort to kind of showcase our town and the people in it. And that's one of them is you can tell who on the production is not from Ketchikan, because if we don't have something, it will be a little bit of a panic, and then they'll go up to Emilio and they'll be like, oh, we need a truck for this day, and we don't have one, like, or whatever, it didn't happen. And he'll just pull out his phone and text somebody. It'll be like, oh yeah, we'll get it here tomorrow. Like, everybody is so eager and willing to offer things. And that's something really special about Ketchikan, is it's never a problem to find what you need, because there will be someone that'll offer it. Yeah. And it's come through every time.
All right, everyone take a deep breath. We're okay. Making a movie. We're fine. All right. Tell me you're set, Toby. Set. Action.
It was just so moving to see him in his element. To me, the most beautiful thing is seeing someone or something doing what they were meant to do. And Emilio's clearly meant to make movies. He knows the story he's telling, and every single decision, you can hear it out loud, him thinking through and bringing everybody into the story he's telling. And so, as exhausting as film acting can be on some days, with takes and retakes and retakes and resetting and feeling the thing over and over and over again while you're in this set, or sometimes physically uncomfortable positions, all of that is still just a joy to be part of it and see this thing unfolding with him doing what he was meant to do with the crew that he's pulled together doing it.
We're lucky because we get really nice feedback after the take, because he's just incredibly supportive. He's very positive, and and especially with actors, he'll tell you, like, oh, that was great, this or that. Ooh, let's do it again. This time, when you get to here, take more time with that, or he'll give direction in that moment. So we are actually getting feedback, and because I don't have much experience, I don't know how that really varies on different sets, but I can say for sure that Emilio is incredibly positive and works very well with actors. He gives really good and immediate feedback and useful notes to apply immediately. It's really cool seeing people that young already like focused and knowing where they're going and what they want to do with it, and yeah, and having fun with it too.
He's pulled together all of these people who are extremely dedicated to what they're doing on this film, and I'm sure in their personal life they're like today they were all looking at one of the scenes that we just shot and just nerding out about the lighting, like just how it was hitting Ty's face, and how like it was really charming because everybody was so excited. There was no sense of this is a long day, this is exhausting, even though like everybody's probably feeling that, just wanting to get this done, but it was still, everybody was really happy to be there. And that's 100% because he assembled this team that wants to be there, wants to tell a story. So the short film had it was a wonderful home experience. It felt like a Ketchikan story being told by a Ketchikan guy. And this one is just that times 10.
He has the vision that a community can make a movie, and an authentic movie. And so if I wanted people to think anything as they're watching this, just to sort of realize that he's right.
Hi, my name is Emilio Miguel Torres. I'm the writer and director of The Ladder. The Ladder is a drama sci-fi film about an aging Alaskan fisherman named Arthur in the twilight of his life, who gets offered the chance to restart his life with this mysterious new procedure. And the film delves into why or why not he may do it by exploring his family dynamics and his rapidly changing world around him. And you know, a movie of this scale, a sci-fi high concept movie, it's only possible if you A, have a ton of money, which we didn't have, or you have a lot of help, and that's what we had. We had an entire community of Ketchikan behind our backs. We had dozens to hundreds of people who helped out as extras, who donated props, who would help us with food, with rides, with housing. And so when I have my really hardworking professional crew partnering with a town who was just really excited to get involved with the movie, I think we made something that Ketchikan is going to be super proud of, and I am so grateful for all the support that we got along the way. One of the coolest things about the Ladder is that we got to cast pretty much everyone in the movie from local people in Ketchikan. Some of them had acting experience, some of them didn't. And it meant that I got to work with a lot of people and really represent the community across the board. I do think there's an authenticity to Ketchikan, and Ketchikan is a character in the film. And so I really wanted to emphasize community and ultimately make a movie that, I hope goes out there and finds an audience in the world. But most importantly to me, I just hope that when Ketchikan sees it on the big screen for the first time, they can really take pride in this is a movie that we all contributed to, and this is a movie that shows the beauty of what I think is the best place on earth.
All right, find me a position 1 for you guys. For all 3 of you, stand there for a second. Could you guys have a bit of dialogue here? So where do you think you would naturally land, all 3?
One thing that was really cool about the movie is that, all of our locations were basically donated by community members. That meant we got to shoot inside Parnassus bookstore. We got to obviously feature the salmon ladder. And we also got to go to places like Cape Fox, the Landing, all these different locations that kind of really showed, the spots in Ketchikan that any local resident would know. And hopefully I think someone could watch this movie and feel like they kind of took a trip to Ketchikan. So actually, right now we're in New York City because we're doing some pickups for a couple of scenes that we weren't able to get in Alaska. With these scenes and the movie, which is already mainly done edited, we're gonna combine them and be able to finish the film. And the next few months we're gonna be raising money to finish the film and ideally send the film off to festivals and hopefully get distribution and kind of get it out there. And for me, I'm just really hyper focused on The Ladder, and I want to create it and put it out there so people can see it. But I have a lot more movies I want to make, and I think I will always be very proud that this film hopefully will prove to my community, will prove to the industry that I can handle pulling off a feature film. And I would like to explore movies, and shoot them about different types of stories that people can resonate with. I think One of my mentors always said, the best movies are movies that can educate, entertain, and inspire. And I think as long as I keep making movies that get larger and larger scale, that sort of hit on those goals, I'm gonna be very satisfied with my career as a filmmaker, and that's all thanks to sort of the start that I got being an artist from Ketchikan.